Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. And thank you to Providence for inviting me to speak, even if the irony of inviting a man without a tongue to give a talk is not lost on anyone. The voice you're hearing is mine, just vintage. It's rebuilt from old recordings of my seminars and podcasts with the help of artificial intelligence. Even the lip-synced video is made with AI. So, while I technically can't talk, that's not stopping me from saying something that matters. Back in 2008 and 2009, I weathered what I now call the perfect storm of life. My business collapsed. I lost my home out on Cooper Point. My marriage fell apart. Then came the big finale, tongue cancer. It's what I call compound adversity. It's like life spun a wheel of misfortune and landed on, take everything. And as if that weren't enough, it whispered, also let's make it ironic. He speaks for a living? Perfect. Take his voice. When adversity hits, it doesn't send a polite calendar invite. It just shows up and kicks in the door. And what I've learned is that when the ground falls out from under you, you either build a stronger foundation or choose to fall deeper. Me? I grabbed the metaphorical duct tape and started building. I had 17 surgeries over the course of 17 years. That's one for each season of NCIS in case you're counting. First, it was a biopsy, then a tumor, then half of my tongue. And when I started recovering and getting back into public speaking, bam, the cancer returned. This time they had to take my entire tongue. Now, when I say I lost my tongue, people sometimes think I mean I lost my filter. That was long gone by my 20s. What I lost was the actual muscle, all of it, even my lower teeth, although AI chose to give those back to me, it seems. That's a big deal for someone who made his living with his voice. I was a public speaker, a seminar presenter, a communicator. Losing my ability to speak was like telling a baseball pitcher he would lose his throwing arm or a chef he could no longer taste food. Worse yet, I can't taste bacon. For those of you unfamiliar with the miracle of modern reconstructive surgery, I now have a tongue made from my thigh. I had a friend see my long leg scar on Facebook where they pulled out the long muscle to rebuild my tongue. He posted, "Just how long is your tongue?" So, yes, I taste with my leg, which sounds like a party trick, but sadly I can't eat anymore, so I just cook, mostly for others. I've been told my sourdough is amazing. I'll take their word for it. Yet, something amazing happened during those painful weeks. I rediscovered grace. Not just the kind from God, but the kind that shows up in nurses who never once flinched while suctioning out my stoma from my tracheotomy, or in friends who sat quietly while I scribbled answers on a whiteboard with shaky hands. Resilience, I've learned, doesn't look like bravery on a battlefield. It looks like trying again, saying yes to treatment, laughing when it hurts, showing up, even when you don't want to. Here's the thing. I spent years speaking to audiences, training professionals, motivating people. When I lost my voice, I thought I lost my purpose. But I realized something important. I didn't lose my message, just the delivery method. So, I started writing again. I started telling the truth, even the ugly parts. Not because pain is honest, but because telling the truth in the face of struggle reveals who you really are. When comfort and ease fall away, what's left is what you truly stand for, and that's worth putting into words. In my latest book, When It All Falls Apart, I talk about how life doesn't always break you. Sometimes it reshapes you. It's part of what led me to design the cover of my book to show a cracked bowl repaired with gold. It's based on the Japanese art of Kintsugi, where broken pottery is made beautiful again, not by hiding the cracks, but by mending them with gold and making them stand out. That's how I see people who've been through cancer, loss, trauma. Our scars aren't shameful. They're proof that we healed, that we chose to stay. Damage is part of our story. I may have lost the sound of my voice, but not the message. That's something cancer couldn't take from me. One of the hardest moments I've had was telling my daughters about my diagnosis. As a father, you want to be the hero, the protector, not the guy who shows up with surgical drains and a dry erase board because you can't speak. In one of my books, I wrote about when I told my daughters I had cancer. As parents, we want to shield our kids. We say things like, "I'm fine," while holding a bloody gauze pad and wincing through a smile. What I learned the hard way is that kids deserve the truth, no matter their age. When I finally told my girls, I was terrified that they would fall apart. Instead, they became my strength. They showed up. They rearranged their lives to be there for me, to hold my hand through some of my worst days. They didn't collapse. They became stronger, and they helped me laugh at the absurdity of having a tongue made out of thigh muscle. There were times I cried, but not for long, because laughter has always been my pressure valve. I think humor is divine anesthesia. It doesn't remove the pain, it just helps you forget all of the crap you're going through. I remember looking at myself in the mirror in the hospital and seeing a cartoon version of myself looking back. I truly looked like the American dad from that television show. People say, stay positive. And yes, mindset matters. But there were mornings I woke up angry, days I wanted to quit, nights I thought, what's the point if I can't eat, speak, or enjoy the things I love? And that's when I remembered a story. During World War II, Viktor Frankl, a brilliant psychiatrist, was sent to a Nazi concentration camp. He lost everything, his freedom, his wife, his family, his health, and everything he owned. But he discovered something in that darkness. He said, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. That line changed me because it meant that no matter what cancer took, my tongue, my speech, my ability to taste, I still had the power to choose how I responded. So I chose to speak again, even if I needed technology and a dry erase board to help me. I chose to write a book. I chose to stand here in front of you, broken, rebuilt, and stronger in all the places I once thought were ruined. To the survivors in this room, my heart goes out to you. You've already won. You've wrestled with the monster, and you're still here. And that is a miracle. You might walk slower, speak softer, or feel more tired, but you are here. You've faced the worst and come through it with scars that tell your story. To those still in treatment, don't give up. This is the worst part of the story, but not the end of your story. Even heroes have their low moments. Then something shifts, and the climb back up begins. It's a really terrible chapter, yes, but the plot twist is coming. To the doctors, nurses, and caregivers, thank you. You carry us when we can't carry ourselves. You walk into the worst days of people's lives and bring light with you. You may not always get the credit you deserve, but please know this. Your presence, your compassion, and yes, even your awkward small talk and silly dad jokes make a difference. And to the families, the friends, the supporters, we see you. You are the unsung heroes, the ones who help clean the wounds, listen to the rants, and hold us when we need to cry. We know it's hard to watch someone suffer. We know it's frustrating when the person you love is a shadow of who they were, but your presence is more healing than any medication. Let me end with this. Life after cancer can still be full of challenges. For me, being mute in a world that runs on voice commands is a daily reminder of that. My entire house is a smart home, but I can't talk to Alexa anymore. She and I are officially not on speaking terms. And don't get me started on drive-thrus or customer service calls. But even with those frustrations, you don't need a perfect body to live a full life. You don't need a functioning voice to be heard. And you definitely don't need to be physically whole to be worthy. Resilience doesn't mean we never fall apart. It means we keep rebuilding with whatever tools we have left. You don't need a tongue to speak love. You don't need 2 legs to walk forward. And you don't need a perfect body to live a beautiful, powerful, joy-filled life. We don't choose adversity, but we can choose how we respond. So whether you're missing a body part, a sense of taste, or just your patience from time to time, remember, you're still whole. You're still here, and you still matter. Thank you for letting me share my story with you. Thank you for letting me share my voice. Even if it comes from a little bit of AI, it comes with a whole lot of gratitude. Let's keep rewriting our lives, one hopeful chapter at a time. Thank you all for being here today and letting me share my thoughts with you.